punch. You can hear them. They were two, but they sound like fucking one punch. Oh, they don't understand. Anybody that hears this understand all the fighting. They know what I'm saying. He do two punches that sound like one.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Yo, what up, chat? I see you out there, Crafty. Welcome to the chat. I love it when a member is the first person in the chat, man. It always makes me extra happy. Good morning, guys. Hopefully, y'all had a great night. Um, Figured I'd get in an early stream out the way for you guys since we've been kind of skipping the morning streams and doing two later streams. So I want to get back on schedule, get you guys a morning stream and then an evening stream. Get you back right. Shout out everybody, man. Shout out everybody, man. Welcome Crafty and welcome everybody to the chat. We got another great video lined up for you guys. This one, the title is When the Killer is Your Ex-Boyfriend from Stranger Stories. They're my favorite interrogation channel because it's a lot of just raw footage. The narrator really allows us to break it down. You know what I mean? It only talks kind of at the beginning and the end. I really appreciate that. Mm, So, man, shout out everybody. Hopefully you're having a good morning, man. Hopefully you're having a great day. And let's get to the show.
Kenosha 911, what's the address for emergency?
So I was doing a wellness check on a good friend of mine that I was dating, and I found it weird because I haven't talked to him for like 24 hours, and I just
Yo, what up, David? Welcome to the chat, my boy.
went to his house, and his screen door is wide open, and I just pulled the
Okay, so were you able to see inside?
Yeah, I pulled the blinds back, and there's blood all over the floor in the living room. And
Can you see him at all anywhere?
I didn't go any further.
On May 19th, 2020, multiple calls flooded in regards to the mysterious disappearance of Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. He had last been seen on May 17th, and concern was rapidly mounting.
Police Department, this is Kay. How may I help you?
Hi, Katie. This is Michael Campbell. My friend is missing from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Rosalio's new girlfriend, Sadie Beecham, was among those worried about his sudden vanishing act. Deciding to take matters in her own hands, she visited his house to check on him. What she encountered was far beyond anyone's worst fears. As Sadie stepped inside, she was greeted by a gruesome scene. Blood splattered the floor, furniture, and even the ceiling.
Bro lived in an apartment. There's all this blood, bro, and signs of struggle, and nobody heard this shit.
It was clear that something horrific had occurred. The sheer amount of blood left little doubt that Rosalio was dead. But
Hey, Nicole, welcome in. Good morning.
his body was nowhere to be found. So what were the clues that left detectives confused and the world divided about this case? Let's find out.
I don't know, I can't.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Something there.
That's okay. You want some tissue? I'll get you some tissue.
All right, so what we got so far is looks like a woman was recently started dating a man. They probably weren't necessarily boyfriend and girlfriend, but they were really interested in each other. Looks like they were, talking, texting back and forth every day, flirting, going on dates. She then didn't hear from him for about 24 hours. So she goes over to his apartment to figure out why he's not texting or calling her back. She looks through the blinds, sees blood all through the house, sees blood all on the carpet. She calls 911.
It's too much. Thanks.
Yeah, we don't have a box, so
No, it's alright.
times are tough right now.
No. Just weird stuff.
Damn, bro, this shit was right before COVID. 5/19/2020. Wasn't COVID like August of that year?
But I've been telling
Hey, Jasmine, welcome to the chat. Good morning to you as well.
Rosalio the whole time, and and he's just like, thank you for being honest with me and just telling me what's going on. Like, I just, I just want you to know because it's weird and I'm scared and whatever. And then, I don't know, and then I just, Rosalio's just been so good about staying in contact, like we just talk several times a day. I mean, he'll call me, he'll text me, usually good morning all the time, or if he does it in the morning, then at least in the afternoon or something.
3 months ago, Sadie connected with Rosalio on Facebook dating. She, a mother of 3 from her previous.
Yeah, I knew they was just started talking because I could tell because the fact that she said he calls and texts me every day, you know what I mean, and they don't live together. So that's kind of like the new stages of a relationship.
Relationship met Rosalio's children from his ex-wives on May 16, 2020, the day before he vanished. Their relationship seemed promising.
Today, I mean, he'll call me, he'll text me.
Hey, what up, JJ?
Usually good morning all the time, or if he does it in the morning, then at least in the afternoon or something.
3 months ago, Sadie connected with Rosalio on Facebook dating. She, a mother of 3 from her previous relationship, met Rosalio's children from his ex-wives on May 16, 2020, the day before he vanished. Their relationship seemed promising. On the day of his disappearance, Sadie and Rosalio exchanged affectionate messages, and Sadie believed she had found someone special until he disappeared without a trace.
I had such a bad feeling last night.
Facebook dating. She, a mother of 3 from her previous relationship, met Rosalio's children from his ex-wives.
Okay, so they both got kids. That's what was throwing me off. My bad. I couldn't tell if they said they were her kids or his, but they both got kids. They both got kids from previous marriages. All right, 206, Sadie to Rosello. I was actually thinking about us a lot today. Rosello to Sadie. What about us? Sadie to Rosello. Just that I think we could have a lot of fun, all of us, and I think our kids would get along great. And thinking that I want you to be my person for a while. Sadie to Rosello, like hopefully a long while. And then it looks like he didn't text back after that.
Until he disappeared without a trace.
I had such a bad feeling last night. I just didn't bother him after he said he was gonna go see a friend, and I just thought he'll text me when he gets home, and then I didn't hear from him that night, which I thought was kind of weird. But then I thought, okay, well, he'll text me in the morning, like maybe, he'll text me in the morning or something. I mean, he's a guy, and I've only known him for a couple months, so I just, But then that morning, I still didn't get a text, and I'm like, what's going on? And then that afternoon, I sent him a text.
So the last time you talked to him was what?
It was Saturday at midnight when I left. And he said, text me when you get home. And I said, I texted him when I got home.
Saturday at midnight?
At midnight, because I got home about 1:09ish or a little after 1. And because all the dude tours, everything was closed.
Shout out that boy Bradley, man. You know, we like when the members show up to the live streams. Good morning, Bradley.
Like, the detours suck, you know, and I sent him that on Saturday, early Sunday morning, Saturday when I got home. And then Sunday, I sent him a meme, and then he texted me, good morning.
What time was that? Meme. Well, you spell meme.
At 1:25 a.m. I said detours suck, and that was on Sunday. And then I sent him a meme at like 10:30, and then he sent me back, good morning, babe. That was at 10:54. And he was with the kids, and he's like, we're just waking up. And I didn't stay that night, but, you know. And then I just said, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Thanks for inviting me. And he said it was nice seeing Ava, which is his daughter, open up with you. I mean, so we just had some conversation that Sunday afternoon a little bit. And then at like 1:30 or like 2 o'clock, I said, hey, are you okay? Because I felt bad because I thought.
Yo, shout out that girl, Nicole, man, sponsoring today's episode with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much being today's first sponsor. Appreciate that, Nicole.
I thought, well, maybe he wanted me to stay, and I just kind of felt like it was the first.
2 o'clock Sunday?
This was on 2 o'clock on Sunday, yeah.
2 p.m. Sunday?
Yeah.
He quit texting back?
No. I texted him at 2, like, we were texting back and forth in the afternoon on Sunday. But I was just checking in with him, and like, this is our last conversation though, was 1:52. I just texted him and said, hey, are you okay? Because, like I said, I thought maybe he was like kind of mad that I didn't stay overnight, and that I didn't want him to like, you know, so I was just like, are you okay? You know, checking in. That was at 1:52.
PM?
Yep. And then he said, yeah, I'm good. Why do you ask? And I said, I'm just checking in, babe. And he said, that's twice now that you are, he's like, are you having second thoughts? Because there was another time I checked in with him, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm just, you know, a little worried about you. He's like, how did you know? And I said, I don't know, I just had to, you know, like, you just tell him if you were quiet or whatever. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm just worried about you. And that was like a while ago. So this was what he was referring to. That's twice now that I asked him. And then I said, no, I said, I was actually thinking about us a lot today. And he's like, what about us? And that was at 2. And so this was all like around the 2 back and forth. And then my last text with him was, he said, what about us? And I said, just that I think we could have a lot of fun, all of us. And I think our kids would get along great. And I think that I want you to be my person for a while. And then he said, loved that whole thing. And then I said, I think it's going to be challenging, of course, but I think we could survive, I hope anyway. And he said, it will be challenging, but as long as we communicate and stay honest, we will be fine. And then that was like 2:30. And then 4:46, he texted me and said, this rain is crazy. It's like Mother Nature telling Wisconsin you don't know how to act with warm weather and
Oh, don't worry, Bradley. You good.
virus.
Yeah, you gotta wait too. I'm waiting till next week, man. I gotta wait till payday. I gotta wait till payday before I can go buy some trees right now. So I'm gonna be dry for a minute.
And I text back to him, I said, it is, laugh out loud. And I said, and then that was at like 4:52. He called me at about 8:30. And he called my phone and I missed the call. And I texted him and I said, hi, hon. I said, getting the boys out of the tub. I'll call you back in a little bit. And then he texted me back at, a minute later and said, okay, no worries. I just dropped off Ava, going over to Mike's for a little bit. And I don't know Mike. I just assume he's a friend of his.
And I said, okay, cool. I said, well, then maybe text me or bring me when you leave there or something. And then at 8:36, he texted me back, okay.
The last confirmed sighting of him was when he dropped off his daughter at her mother's, Kayla Petty's residence, around 8:21 p.m., approximately 30 to 40 minutes away from his own apartment. After this, Rosalio provided different plans to different individuals regarding his whereabouts. He texted Sadie that he intended to hang out with Michael Campbell, but informed Christy Radatz Ortiz, the mother of his son, that he planned to visit Eileen Knoll, his ex-girlfriend and current friend. He messaged Kim Lavora, whom he met on Facebook dating, that he needed to drop off his kids and then go to Maynard's. And
My boy was a player, bro. He had like he had like 4 chicks he was talking to.
asked Nerida Macias, another individual he met on Facebook dating, to meet him at his apartment at 9 p.m. for their first date.
I just had the feeling that, like, you know, and then, like, something's not right, and then I'm like, okay, I'm like, stay on the phone with me, and then I started walking up towards his truck, and then I saw the screen door was open, like, the blinds were open all the way, and the screen door was open all the way, like, all the way, and I looked at that, and I'm like, do I go up? And I didn't go up to there first, and I just went to the doorway where I would normally go into the apartment building. And I told Becky, I said, I'm gonna let you go. I'm like, I'm gonna let you go. Something, I'm gonna find out, knock on the door. She goes, okay, call me back. So I walked up to the door, and immediately, like, where the wall is to the door, I saw, like, brown splattered on the wall, and I'm like, I wasn't there before. I would have noticed, like, that on Saturday, you know. I was.
So bro had a cool little rotation, but this was about to be his new main chick. He was probably gonna like make her the official one once he was done playing.
Just there, and we just walked in, you know, we used that entrance to walk in from getting tacos. And then I saw little spots on the door, on his red door, but they were dark spots. And then some drops on the floor. And I'm like, so I knocked on the door really hard, and I called his name.
Hey, this detective is typing his fucking ass off, bro. Remember that one detective we saw that was like chicken pecking? This motherfucker is.
When I knocked again, and called his name, and then I turned the door handle, and it was locked. And then I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, something's not right. You know, I don't know. And I'm scared because I don't really want to know.
Yeah, I get it. It's not a position you want to walk in on.
So I just kind of stood outside for a little bit. Like I said, I noticed that truck that went by like a couple times, and what's going on? I called my friend, and it just said, something's weird is happening. Something's bad. Something doesn't feel right. And I said, I don't want to go in. And she's like, you have to, or you have to at least do something. And I'm like, just, you know, his door's wide open. He wouldn't leave it. Like, so I knocked on the window.
What friend were you talking to?
Bro, imagine that. Like, you fucking go to check on your like situation, you know what I mean? Your new thing. You just checking on them like y'all falling in love low key. And then like you just see blood all over their fucking apartment, bro. That I feel so bad for this lady.
Rebecca, Becky.
Rebecca what?
She knows about all of this.
What's her last name?
Jaeckel, Jaeckel. She's got the boys right now. I just knocked on the window, and I called him. Rosalio just called him. And I know he's got that little piece of the blind that was open, so I knocked on the door and I looked in, and it wasn't in bed or anything, so I'm like, okay, maybe he's in the, bathroom or something. I just kept knocking on Rosalio, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna open up the door. So I split the door open.
The main door, the glass?
No, the
screen.
And then I just pushed the blinds aside and I saw the big puddle of blood on the floor and I just backed up and I closed it and then I called her and I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot of blood, and she's like, you have to call 911. And I'm like, I know, okay. And then I did, and so
Hey, David, I'm not gonna lie, man. I like them blue hearts. They kind of cool.
How you doing, Sadie? Almost done.
Doing all right?
It's a long.
sorry, it is long. It's just a lot of parts to it.
Yeah, but we made through it.
Yeah, and we very much appreciate your coming back down here and, helping us out with this.
While Sadie is expressing genuine concern for Rosalio, on the day she was supposed to check on him, her text to Rebecca sounded oddly cheerful. Could she have something to do with Rosalio's disappearance, or even death?
And then the officer mentioned that
Nah, I don't think so, bruh. I don't think so. She wouldn't have reported that shit. And she met that motherfucker's kids, bro. And they were too new together to where, like, she had already been through a divorce, bro, and had a baby daddy. So, like, all she got invested in this guy is emotions at this point. And if she was a younger woman or maybe a jealous type, maybe, but she's a mother, bro, and been through a whole divorce. So if a new dude started talking to her and went away, like, I don't think that would like string her up to get the dude murdered. You know what I mean? Even if she found out he was a Facebook player.
air freshener thing was on, but it's almost always on every time I go there. He's got that running.
Okay.
I don't know how many hours it runs for.
Yeah, I think unless you have a timer on it, it kind of runs as long as it's on, unless you have a timer or something that can move it.
Yeah, I don't know. The TV was on.
Can you, so where that freshener thing is, what else is normally on that?
Like, so there's the freshener, and then he's got like the
Jasmine, I'm telling you, girl. I told y'all, remember that case we watched a few days ago? That cop was like, he could not type. This motherfucker be like he out here typing like a Fortnite player.
signs that are like right next to it, and then there's a bowl where like he would normally throw his keys. Yeah, there's a bowl there that he normally throws keys and like, like a knife or something, like a just stuff, keys, junk, with like a junk thing, pile thing. It's just kind of like, your place where you throw your keys when you go in.
Where does he usually keep his, like the plastic thing for the shoes?
Plastic thing for the shoes.
Normally you find like
Yeah, like his work boots, there is that little rubber plastic black thing that's usually by the couch. So there's a door sits right by the couch, usually there, and then he's got like
right
buckets
inside the door.
Behind with like signs in it, and then right by the door there's a couple of shoes, and then that black thing that he usually puts his boots on. And then I usually take my shoes off right there too.
It's usually flat on the ground next to the couch there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually got like a pair of boots on it, or some shoes, some slides or something.
I want you to consider some perplexing and inexplicable aspects of this case. When the police arrived at the scene on May 19, 2020, they found the air freshener running. Rosalio was believed to have died around 10 p.m. on May 17. How could an air freshener continue to operate for that long? Even more baffling, no shoes were discovered at Rosalio's residence. Did he not own any shoes? Why would the perpetrator remove all his footwear?
Maybe he has some Jordans. Maybe he has some tight ass shoes. But bro, those air fresheners, they go for all the time. Like my wife just be having them plugged in. Or even if it's one of those little sit ones, bro, like they last for more than a day.
There were no drag marks or blood trails beyond the doorway. How did the killer transport him? Perhaps most oddly, evidence suggests that the killer would have needed to stand above certain spots to drip blood there. The furniture was arranged in totally different manner, but the items on top of them were perfectly placed. Who would do such a thing?
And she's 12.
12.
Yeah, and she kept saying, Mom, I know stuff, Mom. And I'm just like,
She wouldn't tell you that?
please wait. Well, she did a little bit, but like, I don't know. I just want her to tell you guys, I don't.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna talk to her.
I don't know. She'll probably tell me some stuff, like she told me about the registration. She told me about the videotaping, and she told me to change my password. She told me that he hacked into her school computer. She told me, he can hack. Then she told me on the drive here that he can pick locks.
Damn, so her daughter's telling her this about her dad. Her daughter's telling her, be careful, like low key, my dad is stalking you. Like that her ex.
And how do you know? She said, well, because he lost his key to his house and he picked his house lock. Okay. He asked her for the house key, which I took from her just now. She's like, oh, Mom, I found the house key. I'm like, did Dad ever ask you for it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, when? And she's like, not that long ago. And I'm like, well, why didn't you give it to him? And she goes, because I told him he didn't have a reason to have it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, do you think he took it and made a copy? And she's like, no. Okay. But I'm moving.
All right, I'm gonna, I'll get back to that once.
Yeah, bro. Hey, she got a good daughter. Cause it seemed like I don't know, maybe her kids live with the husband, or maybe that was just during visitation. But yeah, bro, that's weird as fuck. He was asking his daughter for a key to her house. And her daughter must have seen some shit. Like they must have had like an abusive relationship. Um, for her daughter to be that keen on shit at 12 years old. You know what I mean? Like, hey, be careful of dad. He's still obsessed with you. Like most 12-year-olds wouldn't be able to pick up on that shit.
Detective Vinny's done with the diagram, okay? So I'm gonna grab Olivia if it's cool with you and sit down and have the conversation, okay?
When I went back and I told Olivia, I said, Liv, I said, my friend, I can't find my friend, my friend is missing, and, she knows his name, obviously. And the first thing she said is, call Dad. Where's Dad? I'm gonna find Dad. Quick.
So, that being said,
She knows.
do you talk to him? Like, if you called, would he answer?
Right now? Maybe?
So if you called him and said, what did you do? Like,
I know.
as of right now, everything's leading towards him being kind of a stalker.
Somehow.
Yeah, I'm not saying he did
stalking me.
it, but if there was one lead that we had, it would probably be if he was tracking, if he threw a phone in Rosalio's car or he did something, who knows,
Right.
What's stenography? What's that? I'm not sure what that is, Jasmine. That's a little bit too smart for me. I'm clever, but I'm not very intelligent.
Would you be willing to do that?
Sure.
Okay. We
I
might
mean,
consider
I
doing
just
that.
don't know, he's gonna be like, what are you talking about? He's very smart, I'm telling you. He uses my words and twists them around all the time. I mean, I'm like, I didn't even say that, or
Sure.
just, I mean, it's very narcissistic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulating.
Mm-hmm. Or,
What do you,
yeah.
So if you call him and were like, what did you do? And then, what are you talking about? Be like, where's Rosalio type thing? What do
Yeah.
you think you'd be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about?
That's the word of the day. We waiting on the definition, Jasmine. Don't make me chat GPT it.
Or you think Or he'd be like,
I honestly don't know. I'm surprised that, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I kind of wanted to. Like, I kind of wanted to be like, what the fuck's going on? What? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he'll tell me. I don't know if he'll tell me anything. I don't know if he'll say, what are you talking? I don't know. Yes, I'll do it.
Let me give you a breakdown of what all was messed up in this case. Zach supposedly had just 1 hour to commit the crime, dispose of the body, rearrange the furniture at Rosalio's home, and return home. The fastest route from Rosalio's residence to Zach's took 1 hour and 1 minute, passing at least 33 CCTV cameras where Zach was not recorded.
I was going to Mexico beginning of March. So like March 3rd to the 10th, I was in Mexico.
What if he used somebody else's car though?
Had just 1 hour to commit the crime, dispose of the body, rearrange the furniture at Rosalio's home, and return home. The fastest route from Rosalio's residence to Zach's took 1 hour and 1 minute, passing at least 33 CCTV cameras where Zach was not recorded.
I was going to Mexico beginning of March. So like March 3rd to the 10th, I was in Mexico. And before I left.
Oh, that's like them typing they do in the courts. Hell no, he ain't doing that. Because they got a special keyboard. They have like special characters on it.
Zach and I had our twin boy's birthday is December 24th. Okay, Christmas Eve. That day.
All right, so yeah, that's what I thought too, Jasmine. Them air fresheners be lost in a minute, like the ones that you plug in the wall and then they just release a little bit. I don't know, bro. It don't seem like dude could have did it. Like from the little time frame they just laid out. I'm getting a little suspicious on her now.
He came over to the house and there was an argument. He was upset. Our daughter wasn't there the day before Christmas. He began throwing things out of my house. I had to call the cops to have them come and ask him to leave. So that was kind of a violent episode. That was not the first time.
And was this before you met Rosario, or?
This is before.
The Christmas before?
This was, so 2019.
Okay.
So Christmas, 2019, so that's December. So I didn't meet Rosario until February.
Okay.
But December was when Zach and I had that blowout, and we hadn't talked at all. Like, I kept my distance from him. I tried to file a restraining order. Washington County wouldn't order it. I had 7 pages worth of history of why I needed this restraining order. I was afraid. And they let it go. He kind of gloated in that. And then he came and talked to me and said, hey, I gotta go take care of some stuff out west, and I'm gonna be leaving. And I said, fine, I said, but I just want you to know, like, I'm done, with the relationship. Like, I don't.
So that was the official split in the relationship?
Yeah, like I basically said, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want.
That's when he ended it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I went to Mexico. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You might be curious why Sadie is discussing her ex, Zach, during an investigation centered on Rosalio. After Sadie called 911, she was initially hesitant to implicate Zach, but hinted that he might be involved. When officers later asked if she had any additional information, she accused Zach of stalking Rosalio. That was it. The police had their suspect.
I was like, if this is where our worlds are at, like, I don't want to live like this.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's not the first time. So I was kind of done. That's why I went for the restraining order. So right before I was leaving for Mexico, I did not tell him I was leaving for Mexico.
Did she go with Rosalino? Did her and Rosalino go to Mexico, or was it like a girls' trip, I wonder?
Because I had fears of.
Hey, Tanya, girl. Welcome back. I ain't seen you in a second. Glad you could stop by, man. You know we like when the members show up to the live streams.
him going after the kids because if he knew I was gone, he would try to take the kids, and that's exactly what happened. So he was at my house the day before I left for Mexico, or 2 days. He said he was going out of town. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm heading out of town. I said, well, exchange the kids when I get back. I'll be back on Tuesday of the next week. He's like, yeah, okay. Nothing. Then, but the second day I was in Mexico, he,
When was this?
March 3rd, I got there, so like the 4th, I think it was, or something. I think I even still have the text messages, but
Okay.
it was, oh, you're in Mexico. Then it was this big jealous thing of, you're down there messing around, screwing people, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I was there with all friends that I knew, and it was I wasn't down there with anybody that he even didn't really know, but anyways,
All right, so it does seem like a girl's trip. But that don't mean you wasn't screwing around, but you had already broke up with bro. Like you in your brain it was over. So like you were about to file restraining orders, all that type of shit.
had a big jealous fit about that, showed up at my house where my best friend was watching her kids at 3:45 in the morning. Came into the house because my friend smoked cigarettes, so she forgot to lock the front door when she went out, so she just closed it.
This is your house?
My house, while I was in Mexico. My friend Becky was there watching the kids. Kids were sleeping. He came in, stood over her. She woke up to him standing there, and he's like,
That's a good friend, bro. She's like, yeah, girl, go have your little girls vacation. I'll watch these kids.
like
What's her name? I'm sorry.
Rebecca, Becky, yeah.
Okay.
And he and her do not get along, but it's another story. And then, so she's kind of like, what? And then he's like, she's in Mexico, and you knew about this, and she's whoring around, and la 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 la. I don't know if she could. She's more than happy to tell you what he else said. And then he went upstairs to a.
Imagine you excuse me. Imagine you're the babysitter chick and like some fucking weirdos just standing over you sleep like while you're sleeping. Like you're like, damn, bro, I should have locked that door. I know that too, cause like whenever I am smoking cigarettes, uh, I smoke outside, and yeah, you forget to lock the door. Sometimes you just come back in the house.
Olivia's room, and Olivia told me that he woke her up and started questioning her and asking her, who's Leo? Who's Leo? Well, that's Rosalio. I called him Leo. He's Leo in my phone.
Who's it?
Leo is what I was calling him in my phone.
Okay.
And asked Olivia, who's Leo? Who's Leo? And then she was like, I don't know, or whatever. Now, that was in March, so I had met Rosalio already in February.
Mm-hmm.
How?
You never brought it up to him?
No, I never told him about his name. I never told him anything at all. I did tell Olivia. Olivia had called me on the phone one time when we were in the car on Bluetooth, and Olivia said, who's that? And I said, oh, that's my friend Leo. And she's like, oh, who's that?
Yo, Zim Zim, welcome to the chat, my boy.
I'm like, he's just a friend, because that was, how that was. So I assume that that name came from Olivia. Olivia is afraid of her dad. I will just tell you that, in a sense that she will do whatever he says.
Yeah. Well, he sounds like a pretty controlling dude.
Here's where it gets tricky. The detective might be using reflective listening by saying he sounds like a pretty controlling dude. However, as the case unfolds, it's clear the detectives are fixated on Zachariah as the perpetrator. Zach became the sole focus, shutting down other potential leads. Experienced detectives rely on intuition and past cases, but this can sometimes lead to dangerous biases. Was their certainty justified, or did it blind them to other?
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, I mean, it's definitely good to have like a person you think it is, you know what I'm saying? But you can't just tunnel vision. You can't tunnel vision because then somebody's gonna get over on you, bro.
On the police phone with the police department because he wanted to take the kids. He was telling Becky, I'm taking the kids. He started making breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning. My kids need to eat. Becky said it was the most bizarre thing. It was like he was like Susie Homemaker and like, you know, gonna do his dad thing or something. I did not give him permission to have the kids that weekend, even though we have a very, it's strange how it's set up, but I have full custody of the boys and placement of the boys, and we have 50-50 custody of Olivia, only because it's just a weird how it all ended up. Olivia's older than the boys and insurance things, and state got involved with Olivia and not with the boys. So there's paperwork on Olivia, not paperwork on the boys. Anyways, so that's always been a thing where he was.
Woke up, Miss Lady. So he be trying to throw around his weight with Olivia. Olivia's a little older, so they probably asked her, "Who do you want to live with?" And she said, "I want to be with both my parents." Where the other kids were young and they don't really get a say so.
Show up and be like, well,
Thank you, Miss Lady.
I'm dad, I'm 50%, I have rights to be here and pick them up and do whatever I want to do. Okay. And so that was kind of always that part of the relationship the whole time. So came there, tried to pick up the kids, I tried to stop that. He left that night, and then I'm trying to communicate and figure out what's going on from Mexico with him, trying to.
Yo, Ocean, welcome to the chat, my boy. You know we like when the members show up. Chat, show them some love.
To want the kids. He's never had the kids overnight before this time. Okay, before I went to Mexico. Never had an overnight with the kids. His house was never set up to have any kind of.
Yeah, bro. Imagine if you that babysitter chick, bro, and then her baby daddy comes in like, "Yeah, I'm taking the kids." Like just starts cooking and shit in the house that's not his. Then he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking the kids." Like, what the fuck is Rebecca supposed to do? She's like, "Bro, that's their dad. I'm just babysitting." You know what I mean?
Rooms or anything. He just lived there in his own little strange world. And we haven't lived together for 10 years. So we did live together with Olivia up until Olivia was 3, and then he bought his own house. So we haven't been living together, but we've been together and trying to be co-parents or however. So anyways, then he sends me messages that he's got beds set up in his house and he's got a place for the kids now. And okay, so then I allowed him to have the kids for like the weekend when I was in Mexico. I arranged it with him over the phone. I said, okay, fine. I don't want, I don't, whatever, just to keep you at bay.
So that was
right.
That was the outcome of the situation. Is they take the kids for the weekend.
Fine.
Just get out of my hair and
Fine.
Vacation.
Correct. And I'll be back Tuesday. Make sure that you have the kids dropped off at school. We'll do this. I don't want to see you. We're done. Like done.
Hey guys, definitely hit that subscribe button. Double tap them screens if you haven't already. Appreciate you, Miss Lady, for the thumbs up and the double tap on the screen, hitting that like button. Guys, we are on the road to 100K. Let's stop bullshitting. We are on the road to 100K. 100K, man. We want that plaque. That's all I need is that plaque, man. That's like a bucket list thing. I need the damn plaque, guys. I'm sorry. I need it. Let's get to 100K subscribers, guys. And the only way we're going to do that is one at a time. So if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, quit lurking around, man. Hit that damn subscribe button. I appreciate y'all.
Then.
Yo, Relic. You got gifted a membership yesterday, man. So appreciate you showing up, man, because we like when the members show up to the live streams, Relic. Appreciate you.
I tried to be civil about things when he came back. I'm like, look, okay, I just want to talk. We met at like Chocolate Factory, sat down and talked, and I'm like, I just want to be able to communicate about the kids, come up with a plan, a schedule, whatever we need to do that way. And he wanted to talk about a relationship.
Yo, what up, Mike?
And he, why can't we give this a try? I mean, you're not giving me a fair shot, and all of that, and just several emails from that time on about trying to stay together. And I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, I just don't feel like I can do this. Like, I'm just not, I'm scared of you. I'm all, you know, I'm on pins and needles. It's like sleeping with the enemy. I can't do that anymore, you know, just, I don't trust you, all of it. I mean, I had all the conversation with him. I told him how I felt, laid everything out. And then some time went by. Now we're kind of the
Hello, Miss JJ. Welcome in, Mrs. JJ.
end of
How did the meeting go with the Cheesecake Factory?
Sort of civil, a lot of tears, just really just kind of like, you know, I don't want to be back in a relationship is essentially where my stance was.
Okay.
Then there was like, you know, several weeks of, you know, I'm having panic attacks, I'm anxious, I can't sleep at night, you know, this is killing me, and just, you know, all of like the breakup, heart stuff, you know, and I just, you know, kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt you, there's no, you know, I'm not, you know, I want to be able to communicate about the kids, I want to be able to get, you know, that, you know, that's what's important, and then, you know, then it would go into, well, you know, you're screwing around, blah, 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 blah.
From Zach's point of view, he visited Sadie's apartment due to her lack of response. Approaching the door at 4 a.m., he discovered it was unlocked. He had no idea that Sadie was abroad, and his children were staying with Rebecca. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
All right, Zach.
Zach liar, bro. You don't pop up at somebody's house at 4 in the morning, bro. That's some bullshit.
We're conducting an investigation. Prior to that, us talking to you, I want to read to you your waiver of constitutional rights, all right? Okay. It basically states that you, Zachariah Anderson, have been advised of your rights by myself, Detective Correa, the Kenosha Police Department. Sure. Do you understand the rights that I currently have read to you? Yeah, okay. So we're investigating a case of stalking involving your children's mother, Sadie. Sure. All right. So that's what we want to talk to you about. Okay. Can you kind of tell me what's going on with, like, what's up with your guys' relationship? What's been happening, going on?
Well, so we were together for like 12 years. And about 6 months ago, she flipped her script pretty hard and went from being, you know, primary caretaker of our kids to barfly, you know. And so she, to my account, has picked up about 4 boyfriends. She had made comments to that effect to our daughter, you know, and she's been chasing around with whatever guys, to my understanding, will buy her some blow. And that's how she's been spending her time. They reopened the bars in Wisconsin last week, Friday or whatever. My kids were at the bar 2 days in a row, you know. So I submitted for custody of the kids on the 8th, you know, retained an attorney and submitted for custody of kids on the
May 8th?
May 8th. And then she...
Bro, do sound like a stalker. Yeah, he's saying she on coke. She a little bit too, she got too much weight on her to be on coke for however long they've been broke up. And his story differs from her story. She said we separated when Olivia was 2 and he bought his own house sometime in between those 10 years. So, I mean, I guess they would just have to check the records if he bought a second house. You know what I mean? To kind of validate someone's story. What's up, Nicole? Welcome to the chat.
Encountered
Welcome back.
that filed on the 13th or whatever. And she's had a list of accusations about me stalking her and otherwise. And I have gone to check some information on her. And I have looked to verify some things like whether or not she's going to the bar and that kind of thing. But really just for the purpose.
Nah, bro. I don't know, but I've never had that effect, bro. It always just like no appetite. Like you just never hungry, bro.
To the custody, because
I've never seen that effect. I'm sure it's out there though. True, Chris Farley, you're right. But he probably was a binge eater. Like when he would be sober for a few days, he would probably eat a lot because he'd be starving. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you're saying.
you know, because it's just going to be a mess. And what I can tell you is, to my understanding, she, like around Christmas time, so we have twin boys that were born on Christmas Eve, you know, and it's supposed to be my
Allegedly.
day with the kids, my Christmas with the kids. And just previous one? Yeah, yeah. And I went over there and our daughter wasn't there. And I said, all right, like we went and picked up a Christmas tree and we went to have set up the Christmas tree at her house because she has primary placement of the kids. And so put it all together and that kind of stuff. I came over in the morning. All the kids were supposed to be there. Daughter's not there. And I'm like, maybe about 11:30.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ocean. Like from the people I've seen, you feel me? From the people I've seen, you know what I mean?
I'm like asking her, are you going to go get, this is supposed to be my Christmas. Like the boys want to open their presents. It's, almost the afternoon holiday or whatever. And she's all shitty with me, show you off and stuff. And I'm like, what the, like supposed to have the day with the kids. This is our Christmas, right? Like you get the kids tomorrow for Christmas Day itself, but what are you shitting on the day for or whatever? And she tries to hit me with the broom in the face, just spins around, tries to clown me with the broom in the face, and turns into this big old exchange between her and I. She shoves me into the door like 4 times and then screaming, runs outside, calls the cops.
After this incident, Zach was arrested. One notable distinction between the discussions detectives had with Sadie and Zach is that Sadie's interaction was treated as an interview, whereas Zach's was clearly an interrogation.
So Olivia,
Yeah, you could tell. I'm surprised. Usually don't see. I thought this was an interview just because he had his computer in the room. Not only is he just letting her talk and not asking questions, but he's typing. I mean, the other officer had a computer too. He had a laptop, but this is the only time I've ever seen a computer in an interrogation room.
went into my cell phone and saw a text message from Leo that said like "Good morning, hun," or "Good morning, love," and so this was I don't know. I could probably look. Back in April, I'm gonna say. So she was upset because she thought that he was saying I love you and I was saying I love you, and she didn't know this person, and she was wondering, like, she's like concerned, like mom's dating somebody and I don't know about this or whatever. So she told him, and then he told me, well, Olivia found a text message, and so you're dating somebody and you love them, and I mean just went into everything, and I'm like, wait a second, we're not upset that Olivia breached, crossed lines and went into my text message, like, isn't that what's more important here? And then so that just started kind of.
So what did Olivia tell him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't.
But she told Zach.
She told him something. I mean, she was upset, like, with me. And then,
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, this is so much. I mean, I swear I could make this up if I tried. This is just unreal. This kind of. What is going on here?
She was upset about the new relationship, so she tells Zach.
Right. So that kind of snowballed him into his jealous type stuff. What did she tell me?
How do you know that she told Zach? Did Zach confront you or what?
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
And then, so there was one day, and now I can't remember what day it was, but she's like, Mom, you need to tell the truth. So Zach was like, so you're texting some guy, or some guy's texting you, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, look, I already told you, Zach, that I'm seeing someone, so, I've already been honest and upfront with that. There is no, like, secrets about it. I said, and as far as Olivia, I haven't introduced him to her because this is new. Like, there are kids, like, I'm being smart about this. This is.
What up, C-Cuz? Welcome to the chat, man. Welcome back. Yeah, it's all being recorded anyway on video, so you right.
And, and so she was upset. She's like, well, I don't know who he is. And da-da-da. I'm like, why are you so.
This lady had a toxic relationship before. She then started a new relationship with a guy off Facebook Marketplace. I mean, dating app and Facebook dating. And then she was texting him, and then the dude didn't text or call her back for like a whole day. So she got worried and went over to his apartment and just saw blood everywhere. And then she called the police. and said she think this has something to do with her ex.
So upset about this, you know, like, honey, are you gonna let me deal with it? And then she's like, well, just show the text messages, show me the text messages, tell me that you're not. And like, she was confronting me, like, why are you lying? I'm like, honey, I don't need to show you my text messages, and sure. Even if I do show you, like, I've already told you that I'm seeing somebody. You don't need proof of seeing it, and he's standing there and he's just like, yeah, why don't you show her? Why don't you show her, in front of him?
Right now, I'm thinking her ex did that shit, but she could be pulling a game. She could be pulling some some sheets over our head. You know what I mean? She could be tricking us.
Of course, and I'm like, no. So she became very upset and confrontational with me about the whole thing.
When did this occur?
That was probably mid-April, beginning of April, before her birthday. Now, her birthday is April 24th. Okay, so this is probably 2 weeks before her birthday.
Is this what a missing person investigation should look like? While the suspect's background is important,
Shout out Sheena, man. Welcome to the chat, girl. We like when the members show up.
why hasn't anyone else been scrutinized? Why wasn't the investigation more detailed? What evidence do they hold against Zach? There are many layers yet to be revealed.
On the 24th, he had the kids, okay? So the kids were at his house. I was at home.
Okay.
Rosalio came over that night,
Okay.
on the 24th, helped me decorate for Liv's birthday in the kitchen. He stayed over that night. About 3 o'clock in the morning, we were getting ready.
Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that, guys. We on the road to 100K. So every subscription matters, man. We need all you guys to double tap that screen and subscribe if you're new around here. Appreciate you.
To go to bed, turn off the lights in my bedroom, and my doorbell went off. And I was like, what the heck? So I'm like, that's weird. So I looked out the window, and I looked out
I think it was Linda. Shout out Linda. Sheena, man, appreciate that heart. I'm sending the love back to you, girl. I catch it, and I'm sending it back. Thank you for that heart.
my front window, which looks directly out to the main Appleton Avenue. And as I looked out the window, I saw a black car pull out, and I live next to a bar. The bar is closed. There's no business because of COVID, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I saw a black car, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Who is this car?
It had to be an Audi. I mean, it was a black car. Now, I didn't take a license plate, and it pulled out, squealed out of there, pulled right past the house, and went down, what way is that? Freaking west, I think. And that would have been the way that he would normally take to go back to his house. I was like, oh shit. And Rosalia, I didn't tell him that night, but then later on I did tell him, but he was like, oh yeah, he's like, you didn't tell me that you saw the car. I'm like, yeah, you did. So then I was like, I had the feeling like that.
What I don't like about this so far is that this lady has kind of got like sidetracked a few times or forgot what she was saying. And then the cop is like keeping her on, like, oh, this is what you were telling me. Like, he's like reminding her what the fuck she was saying. You know what I mean? And that can help somebody who's lying keep the lie going.
Was that like it was kind of, something's wrong. I asked Olivia, I went to Olivia and I said, Liv, I said, I don't know. I said, I think your dad was here last night, something's up. When she got back, I asked her. And I said, I just literally said to her, I'm like, hon, I'm like, I'm just concerned that Dad may have left you guys in the middle of the night and didn't tell you. I'm like, that would have, if Dad did leave in the middle of the night and told you, that would have been one thing. But if he didn't, like, what if something happened and you would have woken up to the boys and then you wouldn't know which direction Dad went in, I'm like, that kind of scares me. And she's like, Mom, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, what? And she's like, Dad did leave. And I'm like, he did? And he told me. And I'm like, he did. And she said, yeah. She's like, he woke me up and he told me he had to go and get some answers. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what? And she's like, he needed to get some answers, Mom. He can't sleep at night. He just needed to be able to go to sleep. And I'm like, what? And she's like, now he can sleep, Mom. Now he can sleep. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, well, he saw you. He was videotaping you. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, Mom, and I saw you, and you were there with that douchebag. And she's like calling him names and like using all this language that she's wouldn't use, you know.
The 12-year-old, bro, she was mad her parents was not getting back together.
And he did this and you did that and I saw it. I'm like, how, what? And she's like, yeah, Mom, I saw it. So he must have showed
Shout out Sheena. Go take a shower, girl.
her a videotape of what he videotaped me.
Was it having sex or something?
No.
Okay.
No, just sitting on the couch.
Okay.
Just hanging out together is all it was.
The mom was like, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. And then the husband got mad. I still think that's the ploy.
When he got home, he showed her the video.
Yeah, he must have.
But they said there was no way he could have done all that. Like, he wouldn't have been able to do all that shit and get back home in the time frame. And they don't have no CCTV footage of him driving there. And he would have drove past at least 30 cameras, they said, to get there.
That's what she said. And then, you know, had some conversations. So then when, you know, she was upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
How a 13-year-old moved the body, though? Because Rogelio, the dude who got killed, they moved the body. He wasn't in the house.
She's upset with me, like that I was doing something wrong, or that, you know, I shouldn't have a friend over, or, you know, whatever he was, whatever. Wherever her mind was going with it, or
Sure.
I don't know what influence is, but
Mm-hmm.
she can figure that out. So, yeah, since then, it's just been this back and forth about him.
Sadie clearly hints that the influence is negative and comes from Olivia's father, Zach. Sadie doesn't seem to be hiding anything. While she might have a skewed perception of Zach, she isn't being dishonest. This raises even more questions about Zach. What was he truly capable of?
So,
Yo, what up, Gareth? Brendan, welcome into the chat.
go see the DA, tell the DA, hey, this is what happened, you know, whatever. It's not the first or second occurrence. Long story short, happens again. She does the same thing. Cops show up, and I tell the cops, I put my hands on her. They arrest me again and haul me away. And I'm just like, fucking ridiculous, you know, just because she said whatever she said. She said I'd push her at one point at the front door. I'm like, no, she turned around, ran into her own Christmas decorations and tripped her damn self and spilled her shit. I didn't touch her. I didn't step forward. I didn't do shit. I just stood there and watched her make a mess of herself.
Lamont, welcome to the chat, my boy.
So, and that's been kind of the thing, is like, no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, she accuses me. Even today, as an example, or last night, if you guys get my cell phone, I'll show you how ludicrous it is. She accused me of hacking her phone, her text messages, and her emails. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like,
But if he hacked her Facebook, it would make sense that he knew who her new dude was. Because they probably was messaging each other on there.
Like, you know, things that people
Lamont, I think this guy killed his ex's new boyfriend.
shouldn't, which just my lingering suspicion is that she's doing blow. I don't know for sure. I haven't been able to verify that, but just on her behavior, and, you know, I mean, I've known her for 12 years and it's a hardship. So huge difference. So anyway, she makes a bunch of accusations, and she says, well, you know how to program or something. You know how to hack my phone. I said, I don't even know any programming languages. I just worked for the phone company for a decade. That doesn't mean I know how to hack people's phones. Like, you don't understand what I did there, maybe, but it had nothing to do with that. You know, like, it's just crazy. But she's like, well, you know people. I'm like, nobody I'm going to ask to jeopardize their job over this bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? So she's just got some acute paranoias over shit that I can't make sense of, and so.
You funny as hell, Ocean. Uh, bro, keep trying to throw it out there. He keep trying to make that a thing that she on coke, bro. He keep trying to say that shit. Takes one to know one, right?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. But as far as stalking is concerned, no, we both see other people. I specifically, when I was arrested tonight, had a girl over and I was spending time with a different girl. So I think maybe she is a little
Player.
mixed up in, what she thinks or feels about me, and that's fine. But really, at the end of the day, whoever's getting her high is more important. So I don't think, I don't think it's like that at all.
So what accusation, what else has she been throwing out besides hacking her phone?
Well, that was the latest one.
I guess over the last 3 months or so.
Most of the accusations came like in the last month, really. But she said that I was sitting out following her.
Did you notice a critical line here?
Most of the accusations came like in the last month, really.
This particular line has a deeper backstory. Last month, Rosalio had advised Sadie to maintain a paper trail to support her bid for full custody. This advice coincided with increased allegations. While Sadie's actions could be innocent still, as she started documenting Zach's unusual behaviors, she and Rosalio also discussed a plan B against Zach, ranging from physical violence to more severe actions.
So, yeah, since then, it's just been this back and forth about him. And
Of course, Rosalio said that. He's her new dude, bro. He gonna be like, yeah, I'll whoop him. Your old dude sucks. I'll whoop him. That's what new dudes do. They be like, I'm the new dude. Like, it don't matter if he don't listen. If this don't work, I got it, babe.
then Olivia came forward about a week after all of that when she told me about when she was like, Mom, there's something else. She's like, I think you should tell your friend. She's like, but Dad could get in a lot of trouble for it. I'm like, what? And she's like, well, you should probably tell your friend to do something because Dad took his registration out of his truck. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, how do you know? She's like, because I saw it. He was writing all over it. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'm like, he still has it? She's like, yeah. And he's not planning on giving it back. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what's he going to do with it? And she's like, I don't know. He said he was going to maybe have him followed for fun or something like that. And I'm like,
Yeah, but that's just how it is. Side dude or like new dude, like they always gonna hate. Like they always most times than not, they just gonna hate on the last dude to try to make themselves better and make the chick feel like I'm getting an upgrade.
okay, that's not okay. So then I told Rosalio, I'm like, hey, I'm just letting you know, Liv told me that, the registration was gone and a letter. Because Zach said something to me about, you should go tell Rosalio he's really in love with this other person, this DL or whatever. Well, this was a letter that he stole. So he took the registration and some letter out of the glove box, okay? Olivia referred to this letter as well. So, and she goes, and a letter from some girl. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know what the letter is. So when I asked Rosalio about it, I said, Rosalio, there's a letter and, this missing.
Yeah, I got the reference, Crafty. You good? Uh, so bro broke into Rosalio's car and stole shit out his glove box. That's probably how he got his address from that registration.
Is that missing? He's like, yeah, and he's like, and the letter came with the vehicle. He's like, my daughter found it the other day. It was in the back. He's like, it must have came with the vehicle when I bought it. And, it's to somebody else. It's not to me. He's like, I just threw it in the glove box or whatever. He's like, so, he can have the letter. That's not a big deal. And then he was like, and if he wants to follow me, fine. He's like, if that's, if he wants to, come and talk to me like a man, then, you know, that's fine. He's like, but I just really hate that he's being so disrespectful to you, and, you know, like all of that, like just, you know. But we had talks about it, and like, you know, he's like, Rosalio, he's like, you know, he's like, you just let me know. He's like, if you ever feel unsafe, you know. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, he's scary, but, you know, I don't really know him. Like, but now he knows where you live. And he's like, well, he's like, I'll just probably keep my doors locked now, and, you know, whatever.
Rosalio wasn't exactly truthful. While dating Sadie, he was active on Facebook dating and kept in contact with his exes, all while sweet-talking Sadie. He sent Sadie the most romantic texts, but had set up a date with someone else for himself the night he vanished. So his explanation that the love letter belonged to the car's previous owner is harder to believe, don't you think?
Bruh, I swear I was thinking that. I was like, that is he dude out here lying, but she's so wrapped up in his game, bro, that she's just like, yeah, that's not his letter. He wouldn't write no not to that to someone else. It doesn't say his name on it. It's not like to so and so from Roselio, you know what I mean? And she don't know what messages he be getting on Facebook.
At that time, so Olivia had a burner phone that she had been using to send messages, which was one of his old phones. It had cracks all over it. He had another burner phone that he used for music, which had been activated at one time, but, you know, it lost its whatever. Then he acquired a third burner phone that he uses, that he has, which is the burner phone there, that he uses that has service to it. So he uses that when he needs, like, service. The broken phone the Germantown Police Department had, and they had taken that phone, so he had had two, the burner phone and then the other phone that he used for his phone, or for his music. That night, I was pretty upset. We all went over to my friend Becky's house. As we were leaving, I lifted up the blanket and I find the burner phone next to Olivia. And I'm like, what are you doing with that phone? And she's like, and I'm like, does your dad know you have it? I'm going to tell your dad that you have this phone. Like, this was his big deal, no phones, you know? She's like, no, he knows I have it. I'm like, what do you mean he knows you have it? And she's like, well, don't tell him. You're not supposed to know you're not supposed to know that I have it. And I'm like, why? What? And she's like, well, Dad wanted me to record you. I'm like, doing what? She's like, anytime you got upset or you yelled or anything, he wanted me to record you. He's trying to take us from you, Mom. I'm like, okay.
That daughter be playing both sides, bro. They be putting her in the middle of it, and she's so traumatized. Whatever parent she's in front of, she just wants them to love her.
So I kind of asked her, I'm like, how do you know that? And she's like, well, that's what he said. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, well, whatever. I didn't really get into all that with her. But I took the phone. So I kept the phone, and I confronted him. I said, Olivia's got your phone. What's going on? Then he comes back and says, oh, I didn't give her the phone. She must have had it from when we
What you think you figured out, Michael? Let me know. Let me know the scoop. What's your scoop, brother?
were when we were playing on the phone in your car at the police department. She must have kept it. I'm like, what? I'm like, why wouldn't you have noticed you don't have two phones with you? You know, that was just a whole thing he couldn't answer. So I kept that phone. And then Oliv's like, you're not going to give Dad back that phone? I'm like, not till he asks for it, you know.
Sadie's use of the term burner phone adds a dark twist to the case. But according to Zach, he simply had two cell phones. The focus has been entirely on Zach.
You can't even say it's a burner phone, bro. If it's a smartphone, that's just not a burner phone. Uh, that's just for sure not a burner phone. They could track prepaid smartphones. Only flip phones are burner phones because they don't use the same internet. They just use like the old phone waves. You know what I mean? Like 3G. So and like they don't use the same. They're not using the internet, so that's why they can't ping them on satellites and shit. Those flip phones. Yeah, spill it, Michael. We don't know that. I mean, unless you haven't seen the case, right? If you figured it out, let us know.
If other suspects were on the radar, the stories about Zach have firmly cemented him as the prime suspect.
There was another vehicle in the driveway. She was claiming that she wasn't seeing anybody and she just needed some.
Bro did have a big ass scratch on his head too, right? I think this bro did this shit, bro. I don't know. I think the narrator just trying to throw us off. Look at this big ass scratch on his head, bro. That could be from trying to kill somebody, bro.
You're cutting me along, pushing me along, trying to tell me like we have a future, or that like things are a possibility, but you just want some space. You're upset after our last argument or whatever, and it's not true.
I just don't know how she would have overpowered him and moved the body or been able to fucking get there and back, bro. She's 12. She can't drive.
Yeah. And so she kept insisting.
But that would be a hell of a twist.
No, that's not the case or whatever. I love you, all this kind of shit. And so I did go over there, and found out that she was seeing somebody else. And okay,
Where were the kids?
With me.
Sure.
Yeah, I loaded them into the car and took them with me.
Okay. How did you know there was someone else there?
Premonition, a weird feeling when I talked to her,
Is this something you've done before?
No, that was the impression that I got. That's something else.
What gave you that?
Just the way she talked, the way she behaved, real eager to get home, like something else was going on. If I remember right, it was like she didn't have time to, it was at a different night.
How old are your kids, man?
The twin boys were 4.
And your other daughter?
12 now.
What time was this?
I don't know, 9 at night, 10 at night. I don't remember the exact time.
Have you ever done this before? Went over? Out of premonitions?
No.
And what if I told you that I have reason to believe that the 4-year-old went with you that night?
I don't know. Why would you have reason to believe they weren't with me?
Because we spoke with.
Nah, bro, I didn't learn how to drive till I was like 16, 15, 16. But I really didn't get a driver's license or a permit till I was 21.
Yeah.
Zach's responses can be interpreted in various ways. One possibility is that he is entirely innocent and merely a man navigating the challenges of dealing with a teenage child. On the other hand, his demeanor in the 911 call suggests he could be a manipulative charmer.
Mac 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Yeah, I've got 2 gentlemen standing in my driveway, posturing for physical harm.
Are you there by yourself, or did you say someone else was there with you?
Yeah, I have a girl over.
Okay. And your name?
My name is Zach.
Gotcha. And who's the girl that's with you?
Her name is Christine.
And what's Christina's last name?
Remsburg. Arrest her. Have them arrest her. Just wake her up. It's the traditional spelling. I'm not
The
sure.
traditional spelling, right?
Which interpretation do you lean toward?
Premonitions don't make me psychic. Calls me Zach.
So wait, he called 911 when the police came to arrest him? Because remember he said, when the police came to my house, I had a girl named Christine over. You couldn't sign up with Cash App, wouldn't let me log in. Rhonda, what do you mean? You have a Cash App and it won't let you sign in? You probably got to reset your password or something. But if you want to donate to the channel, you could always super chat or send a Venmo if your Cash App isn't working. But thank you for trying, Rhonda. Appreciate that.
Zachariah when she feels good. And then the next text was denim shirt, ... Kenosha. And that was at
Welcome to the chat, though, Rhonda.
10:42. And I was on my way out to to Kenosha. So then I was like, why, how does he even know? So when I got to Rosalia's, I
Thank you so much, Rhonda. I appreciate you.
had a
Hope you can figure it out.
feeling that he had put something in the car when I dropped off the kids, because he helped our son get out of the car, out of one of the sides of the car. And I just had a weird feeling, and I'm like, I'm gonna check. So I searched on my car seat, or my car, I searched on the floor and whatnot, and I lifted up the car seat. Behind me, the passenger, or the driver's side, behind me, lifted up the car seat, and the third burner phone that I don't ever really see, but it has the
You the best, Rhonda.
service on it, was on in a password locked position, on upside down like this, flat under
I didn't know stock had Venmo. I mean, stock had Venmo. I didn't know Venmo had a stock. I thought they merged with PayPal.
the car seat. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I couldn't open it up.
Were you at
Rosalia's, I was. And then,
I could be wrong though. Michael's probably a lot smarter than me.
so I shut the phone off, and I came in and I told Rosalio about it. I'm like, look, I found this phone. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, what is going on? He's like, this dude. He's like, what is up? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I wish you would just leave me alone. This is, going too far. When I found the other phone on Olivia, I looked through it. I took a picture. I looked through it, and he had
No, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm confused, Rhonda.
an Amazon account on his other phone. And in the Amazon account, he had 2 tracking devices sent to his home. I know there's so much. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to.
No, Michael, the older you are, the wiser you are. And the wiser you become, the more you realize you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? How much you don't know is what I'm trying to say. Because when I was 18, 19, 21, I thought I knew fucking everything. Now that like I'm older, I let people know I really don't know that much. And people always tell me, "No, you're smart, bro. You know stuff." But I'm like, "Nah, I don't know that much." Oh yeah, I don't think Venmo. No, I said PayPal, Venmo and PayPal. But yeah, I don't think somebody told me they merged, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. I don't remember who told me that.
Tell you what I got here. Images. So then I took a picture of.
But honestly, Rhonda, I like Venmo better. It's just way easier to use. It's like it's been like the most legit little digital cash app that for me. Sometimes like Cash App be bugging and shit, and PayPal too. But Venmo's always like spot on.
The invoice. Because then I started freaking out that he had put a tracking device on my car, or maybe on Rosalio's car, or something. So then when I found this too, I told Rosalio, I'm like, I found these 2 trackers. I'm like, I don't know if and he's like, if he's tracking me, let him. Like he was very kind of passive about it. Like, I don't know what to do about this dude, but I'll keep an eye out. But he didn't seem like he was
Yeah, the Venmo's in there too. Like that's the handle right there, crypto fees.
too afraid. You know what I mean? Like,
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if our guys here to download, because I'd like those messages you put down so I can.
It's worth wondering what innocent person would buy a tracker on Amazon. What would he need it for? Even if you dismiss the detective's focus and try to side with Zach, there's always a twist that leaves you questioning what really happened on May 17th, 2020.
Was the night before that, the night all this went down, where you went over and saw the man? The dude?
No, I don't believe so. I don't recollect what day that was, but I guess you gotta say you.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, sorry.
The whole incident involving the guy.
Yeah, I don't remember that was the night. I don't think so, but I don't remember exactly.
Well, like I said, I have no reason to doubt what he was telling me.
Okay.
I mean,
I do just got a long track record as a Germantown police.
Michael looked it up. Thank you for confirming that, Michael. PayPal is the stock number, stock symbol, and you are correct. Venmo is now under PayPal.
I mean, she described some pretty grave detail on what happened that night at the house, as far as looking through the windows and all that. And she's claiming she got drugged along.
Yeah, I don't know what she perceived she could get in trouble for, or whatever. So I don't know.
Did you look through the windows of the house and see someone in there?
Yeah, the windows were open. I could look through windows and see. There's no blinds covering the back door or anything like that.
Did you take pictures?
No.
You take video?
No.
Take audio recording?
No.
Nothing.
No, so you had the same bullshit accusations. No, I didn't.
What did you hear?
Nothing. I heard, saw them laughing, saw them, doing their thing or whatever the hell. And okay, they had the music on and they're doing whatever they do.
If you like documentaries, Michael, like financial ones, check out the PayPal Mafia. It's about how it got started. It's pretty good.
Okay. At any point, did you have in the window?
Yeah.
Initially, when you first got there, with you?
I don't remember initially. What I know is at some point I was like, oh no, go back to the car.
Okay. Did you place any cell phones anywhere?
Nope.
I mean, this is something she told me, and then this is something that a 13-year-old girl is not going to come up with on her own to get her dad in trouble.
I didn't place any cell phones anywhere. What happened originally was, Sadie was slapped in the face to discipline her when she was yelling at her.
When was this?
Like a month and a half ago, and recorded it on her school laptop. She came to me and she told me, and I said, "Hey, Mom, no, wouldn't she slapping you?" She said, "Yeah, Dad, she slaps me and she yells at me." I said, "No, that's not like her at all. Like it's really not her character." But you recorded it. I'll give you the recording. So she starts the recording. Mom's screaming at her, going, "Okay, okay." And she swings at her again, and she hits the laptop itself. And she that to me, I don't know how many weeks ago. I'd have to look at the video, or whatever. And at that point, I told her, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Nobody's going to believe me if I say, hey, Mom's the violent one. She's the one losing her shit, and she's the one hitting the kids. But it doesn't stop there. And like, she's
Zach, the ex-boyfriend, the baby daddy.
Stands the boys up against the wall and hits them on their arms and legs. So it looks like they're fighting. And at night when it's cold out, she takes the blanket away because they're playing, using their blankets and playing and stuff like that. And then she calls me and she's got the boys in the background, owie, 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 getting hit by Mom. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The boys misbehaved. They're 4. I stand them up against the wall, give them a few minutes to think about it, flick them in the head or something like that. But nothing. I'm not hitting them. I'm not taking the blankets away at night. If I put my kids to bed, I just lay down with them.
What does this whole thing have to do with putting a cell phone somewhere that night?
So what happens is I give one of my old phones so she can record what's going on. So I have some evidence. And then so yes, there are cell phones, but I didn't put a cell phone anywhere for that purpose. I gave it to my daughter to record when she's being abused or when the boys are being abused.
Okay, but again,
I didn't put a cell phone anywhere.
Videos found on Zach's devices presented conflicting interpretations. Sadie viewed them as evidence of stalking, whereas Zach claimed they were proof of Sadie's alleged violence towards them. Detectives discovered that during his trip to purchase cleaning supplies, he also bought cans of sardines, which were found open but untouched in the van. Was this a deliberate attempt to mask the smell of blood and a deceased body?
Yeah, it was. He was like, it stinks in my van because I have open sardines. Because you know how sometimes, like, those homicide police will be like, I smell death. Like, even if they move the body, I can still smell death. I've heard multiple homicide police officers say they have a nose for that shit. So he was like, fuck that. I don't want my truck to smell like a dead body or my van. So he was just opening sardines off in that bitch. But he probably should have just used Pine Sol from, y'all know the power of pine. Y'all know the power of pine. Hey, what up, House of Horrors? Welcome to the chat. Uh, welcome back, my friend. But y'all know the power of pine, bro. Pine Sol be killing blood. It be killing DNA. It kills the smell. Like literally, Pine Sol is the GOAT for serial killers. They serial killers probably love Pine Sol, and regular killers probably love Pine Sol too. My wife loves Pine Sol. She taught me about putting Pine Sol in the laundry. That shit makes my clothes smell so fucking good, bro. Better than any fabric softener.
Additionally, the carpet in the van had been removed, which appears suspicious. However, several testimonies supported Zach, suggesting the carpet had been removed days earlier. Luminol test, which should have revealed a certain pattern, instead showed something unexpected. Despite this, investigators found a minuscule amount of blood that could not be conclusively tested, but was identified as male. This discovery was sufficient for the investigators. They finally got what they needed.
You didn't know about a relationship?
Oh, no, he knew about it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He just figured out his name on that day, right?
So that was the other thing. So then the day that he told me that, and we had.
Gareth, you never heard of Pine Sol, bro? You never heard of the power of pine? Man, when I was a kid and Ma used to mop the floors and it smelled like Pine Sol, bro, I used to love that shit, bro. I don't know why. I just like the smell of Pine Sol.
Had a big fight outside about it the day after Olivia's birthday when she left, and that was the thing. And I said, just be honest with me. I said, I saw your car here. I know you were here. I know you were here. And then he's like, yeah, I did. I was here, and I saw you and him.
Okay, so he admitted it.
He did.
And this was at the birthday party.
This was.
It's a cleaning thing. It's like a natural bleach. Um, like you would use it like you use bleach, but it's like safe on colors. But people use it to like mop floors, clean bathrooms. You could put it in your laundry to make your clothes smell fresh and kill all the bacteria. Yeah, Pine Sol is huge in the States, bro. It's really good.
Was after Olivia left, and we were outside talking. Yeah, and
It's good for getting blood out of your clothes. Like, if you have like a bloody nose or something.
And I'm like, why? And he's just like, jealousy and blah, 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 and I love you, and all, whatever the conversation went, I can't remember everything word for word, of course, but, essentially he did come clean and told me that. And at some point he rattled off his name, and he's like, I see, something, Rosalio Gutierrez. Yeah, that's his name. That's it. He's Mexican, and he described him perfectly from that night.
Yeah, me neither till I met my wife, but I'll never go back to not putting it in my laundry. I'll tell you that much.
And there's no freaking way.
And it's crazy because I think I read it on the bottle too after she said that, because it tells you like suggestions on where to use it. And it's like, put it in your laundry. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm 37. What was I? At that point, I was 34 years old, and I had never heard of that shit in terms of putting it in the laundry.
That was the 25th when he was telling me that he had all these premonitions of me, the visions, that he didn't actually videotape me, but he had visions that this was happening. And this usually happens in a breakup, he said, with me.
Still use your detergent and stuff. You know what I mean? Use it like you would a fabric softener or like a scent booster. Just mix it in with your normal load, like with your clothes are gonna smell so fresh.
And I typically see things and, whatnot. So the other burner phone, so I had been in contact with the police department about all of it, and I told them that I found this burner phone on Olivia, and I called them and I said, look, this is weird. I know it's not related to.
Sir Drums, welcome to the chat, my boy.
Olivia's case, but this is related to me, and this is, I feel like stalking or something.
You told the police after you found this phone in your car?
Well, I called the police after I found the burner phone on Olivia, and I found the tracking, the GPSs, and I asked them what to do, and they said, go take it to a mechanic, have it looked at, see if there's any tracking. I said, I did. There wasn't anything on it. Then I just documented it. I did that, and then yeah, my mechanic friend came over. He's like, I don't know, we checked everywhere, and then this burner phone popped up. And so then when I found the burner phone that night at Rosalio's, I'm like, well, he must not have a tracking device on me if he's going to put a burner phone in my car, right? So then I had the phone overnight. I stayed over at Rosalio's that night. The phone was off. I turned the phone off and came home the next day. And then I think it was that day. If not that day, it was the next day. Zach's like, hey, or he came to pick up Olivia, and he said, hey, do you have...
No, Mike, it mixes with like your fucking with the laundry detergent, bro, and it's not just straight pine salt. Like it's fucking amazing, bro. Like when my wife first said that to me, bro, I was like, that's crazy. What the fuck? And then first time, this is when we first moved in together, and then the first time she did the laundry, I was like, oh man, my clothes smell so fresh.
Or to drop off the kids. That's what it was, because I was at Rosalia, so he came to drop off the kids. And he's like, hey, do you have that burner phone? And I'm like, yeah, I do. The one that Olivia had on her. Because at this point, I didn't tell him that I found that other phone. And I gave it to him. And he's like, where's the other phone? And I said, what other phone? And he's like, the other phone that I have. And I'm like, I don't know. Why would I know where your phone is? So I think stupid. Like, I don't know where your phone is. You lost your phone. Like, why would I know where your phone is? And he's like, well, the last time I had it was when we were in the car. But I'm like, Zach, that was 4 days ago. Like, you text me since then. Why would I even have your phone? Well, I had it at my house and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, you were playing music on it when I pulled up to your house. You got Magnum out of the car. I'm like, I don't know where your phone is. Well, I had it. I want to check your car. Can I look? And I'm like, sure, go ahead. You know, opened up all the doors. You looked at the front seat, went to the driver's front seat, and then went to the back seat, lifted up the car seat. And the first car seat he lifted up was the one right behind me. Lifted it up, and then I could see his face right away because I was looking through the back, and then, I mean, I know what I clearly, like, I'm like, yeah, you knew exactly where you were going and what was there. And then, so he's frantically looking around. He's like, I need that phone. I gotta have that phone. And I'm like, why? And he's like, our daughter's stuff is on that phone, and da-da-da. I'm like, I understand. I'm like, why don't you call the carrier, disconnect the phone, like, you lost it. Do what you gotta do. Go get another phone. I don't know, like, I don't have your phone. I don't know what to tell you. Then, he's, distraught about it or whatnot. He leaves. I had contacted the Germantown Police Department to let them know I did find this burner phone. She said, hang on to it. Don't give it back to him right now. I said, okay. The next day he calls me and says, I called Verizon and they pinged the phone. Last time they pinged the phone was Kenosha. So I just want to know, do you have the phone? And I'm like, look, and then, he's like, just be honest with me. Stop playing games. I said, then you be honest with me. You stop playing games. I'm like, why was the phone in my car? Like, what? And he's like, well, because I was tracking you and I put it in there because I knew you were going to go and da-da-da. Immediately after I get the phone back, then he's like, you're always lying, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, lying about what? I've been honest with you about everything. I don't know what more you want from me. I don't want to be in this, situation, whatever. And then he left. And then all the messages now have been like, you
Seems like they all got Androids
made me.
because he bought a Android AirTag. What up, Don? Her ex or her baby daddy killed her new Facebook boyfriend. That's what we think.
Tell you that, and I never took any video of you, and I never did this, and I never did that, and you've been mean to me, and all I did was try. And
the case is fraught with potential misunderstandings. It revolves around the dynamics of a couple who have grown apart, one moving forward while the other struggles to do so. Such scenarios are fertile ground for blame shifting and misinterpretations. Yet, can accusations as serious as stalking, potentially linked to a disappearance or even a homicide, be chalked up to misunderstandings? This question lies at the heart of the entire case.
Okay.
I have to ask you a question. Yeah. Am I allowed to talk about the pot?
What?
Like, am I allowed to say that Dad had it in California and stuff?
Hey, no.
They already did.
Because he got caught.
Okay, well.
What are you trying to say?
Like, there was stuff about, in California that he had a gun and stuff.
You know about it?
Yeah.
I don't.
He had an unregistered gun in California to keep on pot sale.
Really?
Am I allowed to talk about that? And then,
I don't know. I mean, I think just that you know about it.
I mean, there's stuff that I know that you guys don't know.
Whatever you need to.
I'm not trying to get Dad really in trouble.
It's
not about that anymore.
It's not. It's not. We want to make sure everybody's safe, and including your dad. You know? I mean, I don't want your dad hurting himself or doing something weird, right? Or coming after us with this unregistered gun. I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you just be as honest as you
I
can.
know, I said that I had to come and ask you first before I said it.
It's okay. You just, I think, you know, they already know the record.
With the other ones are just so squeaky, Mom.
Yeah, this poor girl, she was caught in between both. Oh no, Don, that's crazy. That's crazy. Do you got diabetes, Don? My dad, I don't know if it was from his diabetes or what, but his legs has swelled up like a few months, like a month ago. Like they swelled up so bad that I think they had to like do an operation on that mug to like relieve the swelling. And then it was looking like he was gonna lose one of his foots or one of his legs. But then luckily the medication and shit started working. So the swelling went down. My dad, yeah, my dad's the same way. I get it, Don. My blessings go towards you, man. I'm gonna pray for you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping in, give gracing us with your presence.
Are we gonna go back home tonight?
Yes. We are? No, we're probably gonna stay by Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, okay.
Or go by Lucky's, for the boys.
Yeah, they had to drain his leg. Yeah, that's the same thing. They drained one of his legs, and then that one kind of started healing up, but then the other one wasn't healing up. So then they gave him some medication, and then it started to be cool. Now his legs are back cool. But he had like the craziest shit happen to him, bro. His his heart thing was fucking up. Like he has like a I don't know. He has like a monitor on his heart that's like built into his chest, and then the battery on that thing was fucking up, and then his legs started swelling, and then he started having hemorrhoids and kidney stones, all this shit like all at the same time. But luckily he he got the operation on his hemorrhoids, so his butt's still kind of sore, but his legs are doing better, and now they think he's okay to get a laser, some type of laser treatment for the kidney stones so that they can pass easier. He's getting on the other side.
I need to be with the boys.
This is such stupid stuff.
Yeah, that's the daughter.
I was in this position when you were out of town, Mom.
I know.
Where he did this type of thing.
I know, it's not right.
Then we stayed with him.
No, it's not right.
We ended up staying with him. You better not let that happen.
There we go. This is why I'm here. I'm just trying to make sure that we're all protected. It's not okay to... I don't know what's going on. I'm scared too. I'm scared that
The pacemaker makes you dance. It keeps you dancing. Y'all funny.
I was just waiting out there for there's nothing.
It's gonna come out. I don't know. Your dad's crazy.
That was my question. I just
Sorry.
asked you.
Yeah. You can tell me what you need to. Please just be honest, baby girl.
Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
However you analyze Olivia, it is crucial to note that she was a minor at the time of the events under scrutiny. Being underage during these critical moments adds layers of complexity to understanding her actions, reactions, and statements within the context of the investigation.
Nah, bro. I understand the daughter, bro. She's been the only one. Like the two boys, they're too young to really understand. She's the oldest child. She's been seeing her parents fight off and on for years, make up and break up, make up and break up, make up and break up. And she loves both her parents. That's why she has 50-50 custody, because I believe she told the courts because when they're over 12, they could ask the kids who they want to live with. She probably told the court she wanted to live with both parents, so the judge granted her 50-50. The other kids, the two boys, were too young to 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 make any type of decision for their own, so they just stayed with the mom.
Minors may exhibit behavior influenced by their developmental stage, emotional maturity, and understanding of the events unfolding around them.
It's too much. This is way too much, babe. This is way too much.
Why don't we call Dad? And because he wants me to check in with him every day. And what if there's like background noise that we can hear or something?
Because we're not detectives, babe. Because this is serious. Because we can't just call Dad without direction.
Well, it's not you, it's me, and I'm not gonna say anything. And I can just say, hey Dad, it's just me checking in.
This is one of those moments where like...
No, but it's a good idea, because then if someone is in the background, then you can hear like them going, or you can hear them scream or something.
She still thinks her mom's Facebook boyfriend is still alive, but the mom saw all the blood at the apartment. She know there's no way Rosalindo, or whatever his name was, I think it was Rosalio. No, that was no Zach's ex. Yeah. So let's call him Leo. We know for sure Leo's probably dead because of how much blood was in that apartment.
It's not that.
I appreciate you thinking this is bigger.
Yeah, Mom.
But we have to let the professionals do their job. We're not the detectives. You're not the problem solver, baby. You know, I mean, I know. I hear you. I don't think Dad is with him, sweetheart.
Where do you think he is?
Hurt.
Where?
Don't know. And maybe not even alive anymore. That scares the out of me.
Why do you think Dad did it?
I don't know, Olivia. I don't know what to think right now.
Yo, shout out that boy Jimmy Z. You know we like when the members show up to the stream. Who's the killer? Her baby daddy. This girl, the mom, the daughter, her dad. Her dad killed her new boyfriend she met on Facebook.
Or had somebody do it? I don't know. Who else? Who else would hurt him? Who else would want to? I don't know.
Maybe he didn't tell you something?
Like what?
I don't know.
He's been honest with me about everything. He's got kids your age live.
He's not weird like that. He's not all messed up. He's just normal. No.
Ocean, pine salt is all natural, no toxins.
Your dad did something and he's so stupid. And why would he do that and take himself away from you guys even? Like, just stupid. Stupid, stupid. I don't want to think that, but honey, I don't know right now. I'm so freaked out.
Olivia might be experiencing a mix of emotions, confusion, fear, and curiosity about what happened to Rosalio. At 11 years old, she may not fully comprehend the gravity of the situation and may even be excited to be a part of something big. By proposing such a dramatic scenario, Olivia may be attempting to assert her involvement and importance in the investigation. Here.
That's exactly what she's doing. All the mom had to say was, "That's a good plan. Let's ask the police." That's all she had to say. And then the police would be like, "Nah, we can't do that." And then boom.
We have more than enough to charge stalking, okay?
Shout out that girl, Sheena, man. Welcome to the chat, Sheena. You know we like when the members show up to the live streams.
And I think we should proceed with that. Reason being, obviously this isn't going to get any better. He's going.
I know, I couldn't prove anything. That was the problem.
I think we have more than enough to prove.
I know, and I didn't want to.
I know.
Is there a way that I could call my father?
Not right now. We don't want you to do that right now. Why would you want to call him?
I mean, like, not investigating anything, but, like, to see if, like, you could hear anything in the background of it.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Like that.
We're not going to do that right now.
Good idea, though.
Yeah. So we just have to make sure you're on board with it before we go about it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want that piece of things to stop. That's been a concern of mine. I mean, I'm, getting to a paranoid point of like, where am I going? When am I being watched or not watched? And she's telling me a thing. It's just not helping all the way around.
Everything you've said is she's confirming it. You know what I mean? Without me telling her, she's coming out and telling me she knows all this stuff, and it's for someone to get stalked is one thing, but then to bring your daughter into it, and I think Olivia understands that.
That's why it's saying it's not okay.
Mom, it wasn't over video that I saw it.
What wasn't over video?
Where I saw you and Rosalia together.
Okay.
Dad had brought me that night and left the boys at the house.
Are you serious?
Alone.
Holy shit, are you serious? Oh my god. You can't tell me stuff like that. Oh my god. Okay, so what do I do?
I think this is important for you to know, though.
Baby girl, you can't go over there. He can't have you guys right now. I can't. This isn't right. None of this is okay.
He leaves us alone when we're there, and he comes and watches you when we're there. He leaves in the middle of the night.
Basically, when he's watching the kids, he goes to stalk and watch her. And one of the more recent nights, he let her come. He was trying to show his daughter her mom with another dude to make her not like her.
Okay, how do I stop this? I've got to do something. I've done what I could to try to place my in custody into place, and I don't know what to do now.
Well, we're gonna force it. Okay, we're gonna take some action. I just need your blessing and you're on board with it.
I'm so scared.
I know I know you are. You've been scared for about 3 months, right?
Longer, probably.
Yeah.
Things going good, Mac. And how you been? Welcome back.
And so, Sadie, it takes a lot of courage on Olivia's part, to talk to us, and I think it means a lot that, she can talk to you as well.
Sorry, I'm just.
I think Mom needs a
It's
hug.
just a Bob thing.
Dad told me not to tell
I
you.
know.
Why don't you give Mom a hug, huh?
Yeah.
The hug and accompanying emotions were leveraged by the prosecutors, despite their reliance on circumstantial evidence against Zach at most. This does not imply Zach's innocence. He could indeed have orchestrated the crime. However, it is the prosecutor's responsibility to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, a burden they arguably did not fulfill in this case. A few hours after conversing with Sadie, the detectives called in Zach to talk about the stalking charges. Just 2 days later, on May 21st, 2020, Zachariah Anderson was arrested. He was put on trial in Kenosha County Circuit Court, charged with first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and stalking. Prosecutors alleged that he was jealous of his ex's new relationship and had been stalking them. Meanwhile, his defense argued that
Did they ever find the body?
the state did not even consider other potential suspects. Zach's daughter, Olivia, testified against him. He was seen gesturing to her to be silent. However, according to those present in court, the situation was more complex. It wasn't just Zach gesturing to Olivia. Sadie was doing it too. In fact, Olivia had been trying to communicate with Zach, which was why he asked her not to say anything at that moment. The media, however, portrayed this differently. Many testimonies and pieces of evidence both supported and implicated Zach. With no other suspects considered, all evidence pointed towards Zach, and he was found guilty. No alternate explanation was provided as to what might have happened to Rosalio if Zach had not murdered him.
I don't have a son. My boy is gone. My only child.
The truth of this case remains unknown. Maybe Zach did kill Rosalio out of jealousy and anger. Being a smart guy, he convinced half the world to side with him. It could also be Sadie, who knew Rosalio's routine and the apartment well enough to set things up differently, although that theory is less likely. There is a greater possibility of a third person exploiting the messy triangle between Rosalio, Sadie, and Zach. If Zach didn't commit the crime, his time behind bars is entirely due to Sadie's insinuations of his involvement.
I would hate to get on any conversation that didn't include me mentioning, which is really tough to do without crying.
Yo, Hate Love, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome back. We like when the members show up.
That I miss my kids, and I think that is something that most people don't really understand, because I haven't seen them in 3 years outside of seeing my daughter. And somebody sent me a letter the other day talking about how tall my boys were, and I have no idea whatever happened at trial was definitive. It definitely isn't. There's so much truth that's missing. There's so much story that's missing, and there's so much that is modified. That I think it was obvious to most people that watched the trial that there was information that was definitely corrupted, and I'm pretty sure intentionally so.
But what do you think about this case? What, according to you, happened to Rosalio? Thank you for watching. If you like this
My bad. I'm just reading to see what the comments said. I think Zach was guilty, bro. To be honest with you, I think Zach was guilty. But you know what I'm saying? The fact that Leo had all them side chicks, bro. One of them side chicks could have killed him because the way the house was cleaned afterwards. Like they said, people like organized some shit. Dude don't seem like a very organized person, you know what I mean? But the one thing that gets me is he lives an hour 30 minutes away. And what they say, he would have had to do all that shit, dispose of the body, and then get back home. And he did that without getting picked up by any CCT footage while he was driving his car. And they said there was like 30 something traffic cameras between his house and Leo's house. But he stole dude's car registration and shit out his car so he could find his address. And he used to drive over there and watch them in the through the window. So who knows what he was seeing? He probably was seeing his baby mama, have relations with a whole nother man. And he just pumped himself up, made himself crazy until he actually went and did this shit. You know what I mean? Just in the chat, bro, whoever's chatting, you know what I mean? But honestly, hey, you popped in at the end of the show, my brother. So definitely go back and watch the replay. Um, that's gonna be it for the morning stream, man. We'll be back this evening. And man, I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. I want to shout out today's sponsors for the morning stream. That was Nicole and Sheena. We got a super chat from Nicole, and Sheena sent us a floating heart. Appreciate you guys. That's gonna be it for today's episode, though. I'll see you guys. I don't know, probably stream again like around 6 o'clock, California time, 9 o'clock Eastern. But yeah, Mike, that's exactly what happened, bro. That's exactly what happened, I believe. Um, but yeah, man, appreciate all you guys. Love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Cue the outro music.
And the other punches when you could throw two punches that sound like one. You could throw a punch. You can hear them. They were two, but they sound like fucking one punch. They don't understand. Anybody that hears this understand all the fighting. They know what I'm saying. He do two punches that sound like one.